Hello, everyone. Welcome to a live episode of Ikaricast Classic. This is something we haven't done in a very long last couple months. Sorry for the wait. A lot of technical difficulties we're doing behind the scenes, but we're live right now for a pre-show predictions on the upcoming X018 events, Microsoft's event upcoming for next week. Around this time I think it's around 4 our time, right, Kyle?
Yeah, 4 your time, 4 p.m. your time, 3 p.m. my time.
Yep. I am 16-bit Jeff. Obviously, Jerry is going to be in the call later, but I'll take care of a couple things. So join me right now, G.
Hello, you see me on the webcam, so yep, I'm back.
And we have a special guest join us this week, Freelance Amber.
Hello, Internet.
Now, I imagine most people who are joining the chat right now, I imagine they would know what you do, but if they don't, explain yourself. Like, what do you do on YouTube?
Well, for the most part right now, it's just reaction videos, and my other free time, I stream on Twitch. But it all depends if I feel like whatever games I have available.
Cool.
Yep.
Oh, and hey, Star Child, welcome to the chat, man.
Yes. Thank you very much, both Star Child and I think it was Lord Doom. On the chat earlier for still, and thank you for guys joining, and I hope you like today's episode. Speaking of which, today's episode, like I said earlier, is going to be an upcoming X018 event that Microsoft announced a couple months ago for those who haven't been in the know for quite some time, because it's been quite a while since Microsoft has done this. Long story short, this was basically Microsoft's answer to what both Nintendo and Sony currently do with their events, that being Nintendo Direct and PlayStation Experience. You know, a self-contained, small, kind of mini E3 event for their big announcements, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they did do a couple of them, but they were more like a smaller, like, fan fest affair. Because the last big one was back in, funny enough, the year before I graduated college, which was back in 2006. So 12 years ago.
Yeah, that is a long hiatus for something like that.
Mm-hmm. And it's going to be interesting, too, because with all the rumors that have been becoming aplenty these last couple of months when this was announced back, I think it was late September, early October when it was announced, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. A lot of people, especially like on forums like or especially with specific insiders, so they're saying that there's going to be a lot of announcements, mostly from the sound of things, first party, more so than third, and a couple acquisition announcements as well, too. One of them being the almost 100% already confirmed report of Obsidian Entertainment being acquired by Microsoft.
Oh, hey, Lord Doom, welcome to the chat, too, man.
Yeah, welcome to the chat. And yeah, that'll be a big one because, for those who don't know, they made the Fallout game in the Bethesda era being
New Vegas.
Yeah, New Vegas, yeah.
The best one in the Bethesda era, even though it was not made by Bethesda.
And let's not forget Bills of Eternity, because that's too. But, yeah. So, I'm kind of curious. Let's start with our predictions, because I want to hear from you, Kyle, since, you know, for me, I'm the Xbox guy of this group.
Right.
Whereas you, in all respect, are more of the Nintendo guy.
Right.
So, I wanted to hear your thoughts about what your expectations are and how you feel this was announced about its revival, and are you excited for it or not in general?
Well, I mean, based on what all has been going on with Xbox since the last year, ever since, Phil Spencer has pretty much been the leading voice of the whole division for the Xbox division, I've just been seeing nothing but just positive results coming from him, especially with the game announcements as well as the acquisitions of the new first-party studios and that kind of stuff. So I pretty much have been a believer with how the Xbox brand has been, picking themselves up from almost like, I would say, like, the last decade, ever since, I would say when someone legendary like Ed Freeze left Microsoft, and then all of a sudden Microsoft has just been on this downhill slope with how they present themselves as a gaming division for for Microsoft as a whole. So, but it seems like Phil Spencer is pretty much like the proper successor for Ed Freeze to try and lift the Xbox brand back to its former glory, when they first started. Because, I mean, that's not to say the same with some of the games being bad ever since Ed Freeze left. No, that's not true at all. I mean, there have been some great experiences here and there, but I'm just saying that, ever since Phil Spencer pretty much picked up the mantle as the head of the Xbox division, we're pretty much seeing like a revival with how the Xbox division or the Xbox brand has been getting out more to gamers who are online and all that, especially when it comes to their first party content. Now, in terms of games and acquisitions and all the other hoopla that I like to bring up,
right.
In terms of the games, I really can't. I'm really not sure what type of new games we could expect from the event. Oh, obviously, there are going to be some new exclusive premieres on games that we don't even know about, or that ones that we're going to see for the first time, which one of them I'm hoping we're going to see for the first time, and which is probably going to be an obvious given, is, of course, the new Battletoads game that was announced back at E3, because they said that they're aiming for a 2019 release. It's going to be in hand-drawn sprites. It's going to be 3-player couch co-op, I think, and I can't remember what the third highlight was, but anyway, it's just we don't
player co-op.
It is a couch co-op game, but the thing is that we don't even know if this is a brand new game, or is it a brand new game, or is it a remake?
That's a good question, because they really didn't say it. Honestly, if they did a remake of the original, I think that'd be the best and safest route, to be honest. But like you, I would prefer a new installment.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would definitely prefer a new installment, but the thing is that when it comes between installments of Battletoads, there really doesn't seem like there's that substantial type of new to the overall experience. I mean, I would say that the only time when we ever saw anything new with Battletoads was the arcade game, and that was long after the NES game came out. Which
is a better game.
Yeah, because with every other iteration of Battletoads after the NES game before the arcade game, they pretty much acted themselves like rehashes of the original in some way.
Yeah.
Whereas,
I get that.
Yeah, whereas the arcade game, it felt like a brand new experience. So I'm hoping for that this new game that comes out from Microsoft and whoever's working on it, that it actually goes into the same route with what Rare did for Battletoads in the arcade back in the day, where they focus more on new and less on rehashing older material, which it's okay, but having in small increments. But if they do a large major rehash of past material into the new game, then apparently they're going to be playing the safe route with doing what Sega did with Sonic Mania, or what Pagoda West, or whatever their names are, that worked when they worked on Sonic Mania. Even though it was a good game, but it felt like 60 or 70% of the whole game was nostalgia, basically.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, I'm with you on that one too, Kyle, but here's the thing. Since it's literally a budget title and one that's going to be, I think, exclusive through Game Pass, I don't expect that to be the case, sadly. As much as I'd love to see that happen. Right.
Well, but in terms of other new game announcements, while we're not going to see anything about Halo Infinite at the event, but I would be very surprised if Microsoft kind of, pulled a surprise out of their hat and said, "Hey, you like the Master Chief Collection on Xbox One? Well, guess what? We're going to bring it to PC through the Windows Store as well." Because I think that would, make a lot of sense for a lot of people who don't even have the Xbox One but still prefer to play on PC, and that would be a great alternative to have that in the Windows Store, that and something like Rare Replay, even though I don't expect Rare Replay to be on the Xbox, the Windows 10 Store, but Master Chief Collection, I could definitely see that being more realistic.
Well, to be fair, if they were able to get not only Gears of War Ultimate Edition on the Windows 10 platform a couple years ago, along with the supposed release of both MCC, as well as supposedly Halo 5 as well too, along with the SRB, which just filed, I think, a couple days ago, that was reported by IGN in regards to Sunset Overdrive. I think it is possible. If those games have the potential to come, I think the same could be applied to Rare Replay, honestly.
Okay.
If there is going to be a Banjo-Kazooie game coming out soon, since it is the 20th anniversary, I think that'd be the best way to introduce newer audiences to the IP. You know what I mean?
Right.
If the Bear and Bird aren't going to be in Smash, obviously. But that's another topic for another day, obviously.
Of course.
Of course.
But in terms of like acquisitions, with you bringing up about the whole thing with, Obsidian Entertainment supposedly being one of the studios that Microsoft has acquired, based on the reports of what we read by far, it does seem to be more and more likely that, Obsidian is going to be under Microsoft's banner.
Mm-hmm.
But as terms of the second acquisition, you know how you brought up about Remedy being possibly acquired?
Yes.
It's also possible, but then at the same time, where does that leave the fate of their newest IP that they're working on the PlayStation 4? That's the question right there.
Control. I think it's the same. I think the same that happened with the developer of Wii U Compulsion.
Mm-hmm.
Since it was already under contract with 505 Games, I think that IP will still be multi-plat for other means, whereas the games that follow after that game, potential Alan Wake 2 or Quantum Break, or heck, even a new IP possibly in the same universe, would be Xbox One PC exclusive.
Okay.
Or whatever the Xbox generation is called.
All right. Now, in terms of other things that I hope to hear...
before we go even further, Amber, what are your...
Yeah, we might as well give our special guest some limelight here for you all. So, yes, Amber, your thoughts, or your predictions, basically.
Honestly, I don't really know, because I really don't follow Xbox One. I just play the games that I feel like it. So you pretty much explained everything, whether I thought about it or not.
Okay.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of the same way as you, Amber. I mean, I'm really not that huge into Xbox, just like Jeff said, but I'm slowly starting to try to, pick up the pieces with, buying some of their older stuff. Like, I just bought an OG Xbox just recently, as well as about maybe 10 or 12 games, so I'm kind of in that vein where I'm kind of like, I probably should give this a chance and try to relive the past history with what made Xbox so great, and kind of pick myself up as I go along. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now, if there's one acquisition I would hope to hear, though I know it's a shot in the dark, but I'd rather have this happen than the current owners own them. If there is a way for Microsoft to get EA out, to get not EA but
BioWare,
obviously BioWare out of the grasp of EA, because she's a freaking I don't care about Anthem, but that game, that developer's going on.
Oh god, yes, it's like Anthem is like going to be the game that's either going to make or break BioWare, seeing as how craptastic they've been as of recent.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a major crapshoot, because
But that is stuff that is like our crazy predictions is what save them for later. But that's why I just wanted to bring up as something I would like to see happen, which I know it's not happening because obviously it's EA. But there have been some rumors because there was announcements that it's going to be more first party announcements. There are going to be some third party announcements as well too. So the last time there was an X0 event was back in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was around the same. I think that was the same exact event that they first announced Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell Conviction. I think it was either that year or the year prior, but it was one of the Zero events that they announced at the time. The new Splinter Cell game. So I'm wondering, since there's been a lot of commotion going regarding the Splinter Cell IP possibly getting a revival in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering if it's going to be there that they announced that there is going to be in the Splinter Cell IP at XO or possibly at Game Awards.
It makes sense because,
because of that supposed E3 leak that happened courtesy of .ca earlier this year.
Mm-hmm. Because the original Splinter Cell was originally exclusive to Xbox, the OG Xbox, for a while before it went multiplayer. And then, of course, Splinter Cell Conviction was exclusive to the 360 along with the PC release. So I would say it would definitely be more realistic if they do announce a brand new game or at least somewhat of a revival somehow.
Mm. There is one first-party IP I could see being announced, and it's a rare IP. As much as I would love to see a new Banjo game, like I stated earlier, and I would honestly believe that the best way to do it would be a new remaster, like in the same vein as what currently both Crash and Spyro, as of recent, have gone through their respective
remakes
under the Activision umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
I think, while I do see it as a budget title, I think the next big rare IP is going to be another revival like that, and I think it's going to be...
It's going to be what?
Perfect Dark.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing too. I mean, it's like, what can they do with Perfect Dark going forward? I mean, it's essentially since Microsoft had both Halo and Gears of War under their belts, because it seems like they're really in this stalemate with how they want to evolve Perfect Dark, even though they have shown interest in wanting to revive the IP somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think because there's that new, since we were talking about new acquisition / built studios from a couple months ago at E3.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what the collective is developing, and it would make sense too because the guy that's running the show over there was the former head of Crystal Dynamics during the tenure of the recent Tomb Raider games.
Ah, okay.
So it would make sense, and plus it'd be the best way to have their own akin franchise to combat not only Square's Tomb Raider, but more importantly, Sony with Naughty Dog over The Last of Us or the Uncharted series, obviously.
Right.
So here's what I'm thinking: if it does get revived, it's not going to be a first-person shooter. That market's already taken care of in regards to Microsoft's, first party with not only with Gears, even though it's a third-person shooter, it's still a shooter.
Right.
But most specifically with Halo, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But in regards to Perfect Dark, I see it more like a stealth / action game in a third-person perspective.
Ah, so kind of like a Metal Gear type of approach?
Kind of, but not as Metal Gearish, where it's more action than
maybe more like a
the other way around.
Maybe like a more akin to Splinter Cell type of approach.
Yes. Which again, I would like to see as a revival, but who knows? Maybe they have a better idea.
Yeah, I'm kind of hoping. Well, I'm kind of hoping too. And speaking of Rare, I know we haven't heard anything new about Killer Instinct 2013, even though I'm assuming that game is already finished or completed. But if they do announce a Season 4, I'd be really excited. But it's like, how can they build on top of Season 3 if they were to continue that?
See, that's the thing. It wouldn't make sense to do a Season 4, like you said. It would make more sense to do a KI 4.
Mm-hmm.
And when that does inevitably happen, I think they're going to save that not for an X018 for this year, this one's successful, the year after or the year following. I think that's going to be for an E3 event, kind of like how KI 3 at E3 2013.
Right.
Because it is a fighter, and even though fighting games are a niche genre, they've gotten bigger like they once originally were back in the 90s.
True.
These last couple of years, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I mean, you want proof? Look at the exposure and the rise of free esports in general.
Mm-hmm.
That has definitely helped the fighting game.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, has anyone seen the freaking EVO finals for?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I would like to see a KI 4. You do bring up a good point. Like, it's not only building upon the mechanics of the gameplay, but it's just like the entire package.
Right.
Are they going to go full on microtransaction? Are they still plan that they originally did with KI3 with, the freemium model that worked?
Mm-hmm. Well, they pretty much did the freemium model to test the waters to see if there was enough interest to, gauge an active community when it came out. Now, that I understand. But would they take the safe approach again if they were to do a KI4?
I would like to hope that they would.
Mm-hmm.
It's rightly just in respect due to, because let's be blunt, in regards to other fighters that have done it, like Dead or Alive, and there was another recent Freedom fighter that did the same thing too, right? It was not only Dead or Alive, but it was another big one too, right?
What other? I can't. Oh, geez, I can't remember.
But D-Wave 5, as much as I love D-Wave 5, the freedom model of that game was so disgustingly designed to be a leech, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, God, yes. I mean, especially when you have over $1,000 in downloadable content.
Mm-hmm.
Just
for costumes?
Yeah, just for costumes and other stuff. It's like, gosh, Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo were acting like a bunch of robbers right there, basically, or just a bunch of leech demons.
Well, yeah, it's sad because I am looking forward to
DOA 6.
Mm-hmm. But are they going to pull the same stuff like they did with DOA 5? Or that's the question.
But in all honesty, I'm afraid so. But in the long term,
that's why I brought not only that up. So the recent scandal that happened with Street Fighter 5, and Capcom basically including loot boxes into that.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's one thing I hope they do not do if there is a fourth AI game.
I hope not either, because.
And I want to be clear, I'm not against microtransaction boxes when they're implemented properly. You know what I mean?
Right. Like Overwatch, basically.
Well, not really Overwatch because there is a problem with RNG.
Uh-huh.
For those who don't know, that's short for random number generator, and that's it's ridiculous too because sometimes it's the same problem you see with the recent COD games. Same stuff. Like the ratio is so botched is what I'm getting. Like you don't get the rare stuff; you mostly get the common stuff than the rare.
Yeah. And it just seems like the more that when they do downloadable content, I kind of have this feeling where it's mostly like 75% on stuff that we have already seen in other games before, whereas 25% of it is brand new.
Yes.
And that is disgusting because if you ask me, it should be the other way around. Mm-hmm. Because that's when I find DLC done right under that context.
Right.
But anyway, I think we're getting a little offhand. But anyway, getting back on topic here.
Yeah.
Now I can't see Microsoft picking up Mistwalker Studios, but I can definitely.
Oh, no.
But I can definitely see them announcing backwards compatibility for both Blue Dragon as well as The Lost Odyssey, as well as announcing a PC port for the Windows 10 store for both games.
It's funny you bring it up because Lost Odyssey has been the Xbox since I think the end of either 2015 or 2016. But I do agree. I would love to see via backwards compatibility.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, just Xbox backwards compatibility program coming to Windows 10 in general would be a plus.
Oh yeah, if they can add that functionality where you can actually play, your games on PC through that compatibility factor, then yeah, I'd definitely say you're saving a lot of money, even if you own those games. Not
only that, but here's the reason why. You know how Xbox Game Pass has kind of been combative with PlayStation Now's program?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if they announce backwards compatibility of their program coming to Windows 10, it would get that fire inside of both Sony and, of course, Nintendo, who have been so keen to take down ROMs as a rate.
Right.
That'd be the best way to combat that instead of taking down these ROM sites. Bring the programs they establish already on console onto PC.
Right.
Instead of basically making these accounts actually multi-plat, instead of just being on console, because I feel like that could be, like I just said, the best way to combat
piracy
issue that's been going on with emulators. I would say last 15 years.
Let's see. Other third-party games. I'm pretty sure since Phil Spencer has been working diligently to try to get more Japanese support for the Xbox, at least the Xbox One, I would say they're probably going to be showing off another trailer for Jump Force, or just surprise us with another surprise game like they did with Dragon Ball FighterZ last year, as well as Jump Force back at E3 this year.
You know what? You brought up something funny.
What?
There is one IP that I think will be announced. Coming to the Xbox platform for the first time, because the two recent entries just hit Steam these last couple months. Yakuza Kiwami and Yakuza 0.
Oh, yes.
Because as much as I like to see the Persona series finally leave the exclusivity with PlayStation and come to the Xbox platform, I don't think that's going to happen until next generation, realistically. However, Yakuza, I could actually see that happen.
Yeah, I would say Yakuza has a better bet, or has a better chance to leave its exclusivity with the Sony console or the PlayStation consoles in the future. Now, but other than that, I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head when it comes to like big announcements. I mean, we're obviously going to be seeing a new trailer for Gears 5, obviously,
and a possible release too, because even though it said 2019, it could, for all we know, be early next year or mid next year. You know what I mean? I mean, it might be a shocker, guys. But we're in November, and next month's December. Just keep that in mind. But
yeah, it's just when it comes to events like this, whether it be like a Nintendo Direct or even PlayStation Experience, there's a lot that it's kind of really hard to predict what there is to predict about these companies with what they're going to present to the table.
Well, to be fair, it was like I would agree with you with the first PlayStation Experience because it was the first one, but since we already got that established, how they established their formats with the very first one, we kind of expected what they were doing with PlayStation in regards to them. Whereas Microsoft, they haven't done this, like I said, in 12 years. So it's going to be very interesting if it's going to be like something similar to that, like the Direct, in regards because it is going to be through the inside Xbox program they do.
Right. But I just hope for the for the Xbox division's sake that they don't add filler like what the Game Awards did for like the past few years, where they kept having like live bands and that kind of stuff. I hope that they don't do something like that just to add more longevity to the X018 event.
Well, to be fair, I expect that hopefully not to happen, because here's something interesting. I noticed it when we were watching, like for example, when we were covering E3 coverage this year. Me and Jerry were watching the Xbox events through Mixer.
Oh yeah, when we were live,
where you were watching off of YouTube.
No, I was watching off of Twitch.
Oh well, still, I found something interesting. I can't say for YouTube, but the Mixer platform had the event uncensored. Where the Twitch one was censored.
Interesting.
Again, I don't expect to hear any vulgarity. But you get what I'm saying.
Oh, of course.
No, I just thought that was interesting because, well, again, I shouldn't say it interesting because of Twitch's recent guidelines and rules that went through as of late. Which I think that's one of the main reasons why. But still, I'm hoping for like I'm with you. It could go either way as one time.
Right. Now, there's one other thing that also comes to my mind. Do you think that we're possibly going to get our first tease of Microsoft's next generation console at the event?
You know what? Yes. Here's the reason why. I do not think it's going to be a 2020 release. As much as I would like to see it either be a 2020 announcement for a 2021 release, with how behind, like, they're not really that behind in regards to horsepower or just overall specifications between the Xbox One Basic and the PlayStation 4 Basic. They're the same damn machine.
Right.
Where they haven't seen the last couple of years, don't want to repeat the same mistake and have the most powerful console out on the market. I think they're gonna pull the trigger sooner rather than later. I think they're gonna pull the same thing they did back with the 360 when it first came out on market. I just hope we don't see the same results that happened with the Red Ring of Death. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hope.
But yes, I do see, because not only of the next gen console, but that streaming box they announced at this year's event too. Well, it's not a streaming box, but that streaming application that they at E3.
Okay.
So I can see like doing like a little tease, like say like a little tease that's called the future of Xbox. Like as a stinger at the end.
Yeah, kind of like what they did for the Xbox One X when it was still known as Project Scorpio.
Exactly. Thank you. Yes. Because I feel like that come around February, I think there's going to be an announcement of whatever the official name of what's supposed to be codenamed as Xbox Scarlet's going to be announced. Fully revealed to the public. And at E3, we're going to find out more what the console is, how much price it is, what the launch games are, and what the first year launch games in general are going to entail. You know what I mean?
Right.
But beyond that, like, I don't know. Because here's the thing. I can tell you one thing. I don't see the acquisitions that they just made in regards to, like I just told you before we went live, like I think almost an hour ago. It was just confirmed from the CEO of the recently acquired Playground Games, the guys who make Forza Horizon. The second studio that they created around this time last year, they're still in heavy development. And for those who don't know, that game is supposedly the up and coming reboot of Fable. They said that don't expect any news because of how early in development the game still is. Like from the sound of things, it sounds like the team just literally started this year.
Okay.
So that game is more like a year 2, year 3 release than a year 1 for next gen, obviously.
Right.
And the same can be applied to the other 2 recent acquisitions, being Compulsion, again the creators of Be Happy Few, as well as Ninja Theory, the guys who not only created DMC Devil May Cry, but also the critically acclaimed
Senua.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. Yes.
Yeah, I really can't see now when it comes to Ninja Theory. I can't really see them. I mean, they might give a tease on what new project they're working on for the Xbox, but I say that probably would be a bit too soon at this point.
Now, I don't care if I tick some people off, but I would love to see their next game, whatever it is, because I do feel like their next title is going to be Game Pass accessible. I think I would love to see their next game be a continuation to what they started with regards to DMC Devil May Cry.
Like if Microsoft were to do like a partnership with Capcom to put out a game exclusively, or at least have either exclusively or a timed exclusive experience like that. And
they've done that in the past with the Dead Rising series too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another IP that was exclusive.
Speaking of which, do you honestly think that they might announce Dead Rising 5 at the event, possibly?
I would wait on that for like a couple of years.
Yeah, because Capcom Vancouver did close down.
Yeah, just a month ago, and that wound is still fresh. So I do feel like they want to, bring that franchise back properly, but that's going to take some time.
Right. Okay.
But I don't expect it at Xbox, but it could be a nice surprise.
Mm-hmm.
There has been talks and some rumblings as of late with certain key figures within the middle franchise, like David Hayter, VA director Chris Zimmerman.
Mm-hmm.
That it sounds like there could be an announcement in regards to a full-fledged remake of Metal Gear Solid 1.
Ooh.
Because,
that'd be interesting.
Once again, 98 was the release of Metal Gear Solid 1 for the PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be the second remake, because remember, we had the
twin... the first one was, yes.
Yeah, the Twin Snakes on the GameCube.
Yep. But I feel like how Twin Snakes was for at the time, it's be a more modernized take for, contemporary games today.
Mm-hmm.
Like how the Twin Snakes was from the GameCube.
Mm-hmm. Would you say if they're doing a remake that they would take more inspiration from the Phantom Pain with its gameplay?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
Yeah, I just thought I'd throw in that question.
in regards to gameplay, if you're talking about mechanically, I would say in regards to weapons, like the feel, like how smooth the move or the cursor was, that I would agree with. But in an open world environment, no.
Well, yeah, of course. No, I wasn't trying to say for like open world, but I'm saying I
just wanted to clarify.
Yeah, I'm just saying like mechanics and gameplay mechanics.
Of course.
But yeah, and I think I hear somebody just came back from working.
No, that was me.
Oh, that was you. Oh man, I thought that was Fighter Xaos joining us finally.
No. Watch him join later again. So sad to say, hate to say, but understandable because stuff.
One other property that I'd like to bring up that Microsoft has said, has shown some interest in trying to revive the IP, but are not sure what direction to take it. Or maybe try to get a revival. If they want to do a revival, then announce a new Project Gotham Racing.
Oh yeah, PGR. Yeah, you know what? That actually is possible because even though the main team who does work on the mainline series for the aforementioned Forza series, Team 10, they did say that the next game there wasn't going to be a yearly installment this year release next year because they're going to take some time off to possibly repolish and reconfigure the entire franchise for next generation consoles.
Yeah, that'd be smart.
So, I do see PGR making a possible revival in their future if they're going to put the mainline Forza series on the back burner.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what other IPs in the past that they could possibly try to bring back if they wanted to. Maybe something like Blinks, the Time Sweeper.
You know what? I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't, but there is a third person. There was a third person shooter / tactical shooter that was released back in the OG Xbox days. That was a Microsoft exclusive IP. I would love to see it revived, and I think you've heard this one before, Kyle.
Yeah.
You ever heard of a game called Brute Force?
Oh man, I haven't heard that name in quite a while, but I do know what you're talking about.
For those who forget, because it was, like I said, it was released back in the very first launch year of the Xbox's availability. Brute Force was a sci-fi / militaristic tactical shooter in a third-person sense. Like you had a group of 4 soldiers with various, various abilities, and the music cleanup was done by Jasper. I think it was done by Jasper Kidd, or a Jasper Kidd of Assassin's Creed fame, or another composer is mostly known for the Elder Scrolls series. It was either one of them, but it's an IP I would like to see, and I think would be a really good fit for Microsoft's portfolio. And that's a sad thing too, because Microsoft, just like Sony and Nintendo, funny enough, they have a lucrative portfolio in regards to various IP that they have in their vaults.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like, for example, because I feel like you're going to bring up, Kyle, I would like to see a new Conqueror, but...
Well, that didn't really cross my mind because I really don't think we're going to be seeing another Conqueror anytime soon, but...
I would say that's probably for the best.
Mm-hmm.
In all due respect, because... I mean, don't get me wrong, I love Conqueror Live and Reloaded and its original version being that Verde.
Mm-hmm.
But it felt like it was a game that worked at that time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, for example, like, the humor worked at that time.
Right, and I think Chris Seaver even said it only worked for that time, and if he were to make a new Conqueror or remake it, then he would want to change some things for today's standards, like jokes and mechanics and that kind of stuff.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be hard to try to make a new game if they were to try to get him involved. It's like, if they wanted to make a new game, then I'd say they'd just possibly have to reboot it and have somebody else kind of, inherit Chris Seaver's, magic into the new experience if they wanted to go for that route.
Which I would be happy with as a fan, because remember what happened last time when we got a revival that was supposed to be a game that we know was supposed to be, but it really wasn't because of rights issues.
Mm-hmm.
We got Ukulele.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Now there's another rumor that I've also, that people are also speculating too, which I don't think is possibly going to be the case, but it's probably is, and I'm pretty sure you know what we're talking about, Jeff. You think we're possibly going to be hearing anything about Rocksteady's new game at the event?
There has been rumors going around that it's either going to be there or at TGA's.
Mm-hmm.
In regards to that, just to get on that for a particular minute, I hope to God it's not another Batman game.
Yeah, I'd say it would be very unrealistic to do another Batman game, but if they wanted to, then at least make it a Justice League game.
Either Justice League or Superman, or heck, if it's not either of those two, just make a game that's based off, like we were just talking about. Look what that freaking Microsoft has. DC has a plethora of beloved characters.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they have Superman, they have Batman, they have the Flash, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Wonder Woman. Heck, we're getting an Aquaman movie next month, which looks amazing.
Oh, yes. I'm so excited for that.
You have a plethora of beloved and well-known characters that you can make great games based on their IPs.
Mm-hmm.
And by the way, welcome to the stream of Fighter Xaos.
Oh, hey, Jerry.
My apologies.
Oh.
My apologies. Looks like he's looks like he's still. Oh, that's okay. Okay, Amber. If I'm sorry that you have to leave.
It's fine.
But before you leave, you're more than welcome to plug what you do on YouTube as well as your social media.
What was that?
Your social media as well as what you do.
Yeah, so if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, it's @FreelanceAmber, and if you want to be subscribed to my channel, go ahead and click the bell button if you want to be notified of my latest reactions or videos.
Okay, thank you very much, Amber, and we'll see if you're available to join us for the actual event on Saturday.
Well, I literally came right at the end. Jeez.
Okay, well, bye.
All right. Thanks for joining today.
No problem.
So yes, our main amigo has finally joined us, and now I think it's time for him to get in his own 2 cents. And
so, what happened? I don't know. Like, you guys are talking about what about Obsidian and stuff?
Oh, we've been talking about a lot of things, rather.
Like I know you did research before we got on.
Yes. Yeah, and so we were just basically gonna wrap up anyways.
I mean, from what I remember of the research, thankfully I was here, even though that's what we do, people. We actually do our research before going live.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
so even though I wasn't in the stream, I know what Jeff brought up. So just based on that, based on the companies that they might acquire, based on the games that might get announced, golly, I do know. I don't know about what's the percentage on Obsidian? 50-50?
I think it's more 90-10.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's
because from the sound of things, it sounds like they were saying that it's a done deal. We just don't know. They don't know. Like the actual wording was, we don't know when. It's not what, but when, basically. The timing, basically. But it sounds like it's a done deal for now.
All right. And based on what I know from before, even before we even talked today, I know that Microsoft was going to Japan a lot for building relationships with Japanese companies.
Mm-hmm.
Which, even if you're not a Japanese person, but if they get more Japanese games, people like myself, you, Double R, will make the Xbox look a lot more pleasing to us. So that's good. Plus, especially, all they got to do, basically what I'm saying is I'm really, really optimistic about this. And if they show that they have Japanese support and they show that they acquire some good companies like Obsidian and others, I don't know why Obsidian's the only one popping in my head right now. Then I say this will be a pretty good event. And hopefully Xbox may or may not get me and Double R on board. Because PlayStation has been Sony. I don't want to say PlayStation because the PlayStation division themselves, they have to kowtow to Sony.
Mm-hmm.
So Sony, the corporate Sony, screwing up the PlayStation division so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
I still, dude. It's been. You guys know what's been going on with my personal life.
Yes.
All that time I've had time to play the PlayStation. I haven't touched it.
Yes.
All that time, like it's 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Because of that dang update, and I don't want to brick the system. I don't want to risk it. So I'm still waiting for a patch. And that's me.
I know.
If Xbox does well, they'll probably. Before I was tempted and I wasn't really sure. Now I'm really on the edge. They just got to do a little bit, and bam, they could probably get me.
Mm-hmm.
That's me,
Yep. No, I know. I get that, dude.
My abridged version after coming in so late.
Hey, better late than never, amigo.
Yeah.
True. Star Child said lol.
Yeah. Yep.
Making me think of Master Chief sucks at Halo 3 when he introduces himself at the beginning of the video. Hello, I'm Master Chief.
So I guess we're plugging?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. We can't really think of anything else, but hey, got in some good insight on what we hope to see.
Yes. Well, as to plugging, do you mind, guys, if I go first because I was the host of...
Yes. Yeah. Go right ahead.
Okay.
Definitely.
I'm not streaming as of yet. I'm going to be streaming later in the year, starting on January once more. So you can look forward to that. Just look under the name 16-Bit Jeff. I don't know if I'll be going back into 3 or doing something else. So you can keep updated over on our Discord. You can see at the bottom, or through my Twitter or twitter.com 16-Bit Jeff. And that's pretty much it for me.
Okay. All right, I'll go next. You can follow me on youtube.com/RRPG reviews. I do reviews, retrospectives. I archive my live streams, and as well as deliver opinion videos that are called side quests, which are the evolution of my 2 cents videos, but I haven't done those in quite a while. And speaking of live streams, I'm still taking a back burner from live streams for the time being because I'm still wanting to get back to work on my Final Fantasy retrospective and finally get episode 9 done. There's been a lot of hurdles going in my life lately, so hopefully the finished product will be, worth it. I mean, worth the wait when I get done with it. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook.com/RRPG reviews, as well as Twitter.com/RRPG reviews. Those are my social media sites that you can go to, and follow me on Twitch.tv/RRPG reviews as well. So be on the lookout for more content coming from me in the future that you're not going to find anywhere else. So yeah, can't wait for next week. So I'll definitely be there.
And Jared?
All right. So before that, Star Child said, "I'm planning to upload his." Oh, he's doing Lords of Shadow. He's playing Lords of Shadow. But as for me, my plugin just what the heck? What the heck?
What happened?
The Twitch ad just played when I have it on silent.
Oh.
Somehow. Somehow, a
Okay.
Twitch ad plays on silent. Okay.
That's
Ironic.
yeah, well, I was about to say more so weird, but continue.
Very, very weird.
Mm-hmm.
To find me, I'm Fighter Xaos everywhere. That's Fighter Xaos. Fighter Xaos, all one word, Fighter Xaos. Twitter, Fighter Xaos. Instagram, Fighter Xaos. Facebook, Fighter Xaos. DeviantArt, Fighter Xaos. ArtStation, Fighter Xaos. Yeah. There's a couple places where you won't find Fighter Xaos. Tapas, I think it's Xianwu Dao because Tapas, it says Kaos, but whatever. If you're on Tapas, don't even look for me. Look for the comics, which are New Courage, which are called New Courage and Mixtape. And soon another one will come out, but first I want to finish New Courage first.
Of course.
Or at the very least have New Courage at with enough. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. No,
There's two for right now. A third one will come sooner or later.
Either finished or at a point where you can take possibly a hiatus from it. I get you.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Star Child said those Twitch ads are relentless. Yeah.
Of course they are.
I have it on chat only on my phone, and so it's still played. But yeah, that's me. All right, let's.
So, I guess to sign off, I'm Double RPG.
And that was Fighter Xaos.
How you running, Jerry?
And as you can tell by his mom in the background, and I'm 16. And next week, for the actual X018 event being shown by Microsoft Xbox over on, not Twitch.
That's right.
It'll actually be on mixer.com/TheGeekFighters.
And
let me put the link.
And we should be going on live 30 minutes before the event, like usual.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mixer.com, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I'm putting the link.
You put it in here?
Okay. Oh,
there we go. The link's in there. Jeez.
There you go.
Thank you very much. And like we said earlier, we're be showing that Saturday. Also, from all of us, if you like what you hear and you want to engage with us, click on the Discord link at the bottom. You can join our Discord server. It's open to everyone, and you're more welcome.
Absolutely.
Again, I'm 16-bit Chef, and we'll see you guys next week for the main event.
All right.
Later.
Later. We'll see you there.
Nimyo, kanryo.